Yeah, and it's about missions and tribes. You were saying, Kadri, that actually it is not one single framework that you were applying, but when you joined Pipedrive, it is a combination of quite many things. And we were curious to hear a bit more about it. So, like, what was the situation when you have joined Pipedrive, and what were the issues that they wanted to solve and found a solution, obviously?
Yeah. Before we go there, I will just quickly, maybe not everybody knows what is Pipedrive about. Hopefully everybody does nowadays, but Pipedrive is a SaaS company, or we are delivering system for salespeople, and not only salespeople, but also revenue people. So we try to make the salespeople life better, in a way that they are better in their life or in their job, so that their profession is accepted better in the society. So this is our purpose. And in general, we are really simple. We have a Kanban board for the sales, we have a dashboards for reporting, and so on. What are the key corner things in Pipedrive since beginning? So when I joined, it was also there, was that we are really having those cultural prerequisites, or our values, that what we test and introduce to everybody who are joining the company. And we really keep ourselves really responsible of those, delivering them and not ruining them. For example, don't ruin others' day means that if you have a bad day, then tell it that you have a bad day, but don't ruin others' day. You just, you need to be open about it. And all those 6 are actually something what the full organization really values and promotes. And they are not kind of like stickers in the company, but we live those.
How did you bring them to life? How did this happen that this came into not being a sticker on the wall?
I believe that it became, it was before me, right? But as I have been hearing the stories, is that it was introduced by the founders in the company, and it was constantly talked through in the company updates, and really we are giving out badges for it. We have in Slack, we have emoticons into it. We and we also promote them in hiring. So in the last interview for first 500 employees, the owners or founders actually did the last interview round. So they actually really tested on those values. So it was pretty narrow door how to enter the Pipedrive organization, because you really had to live those yourself, or have them in your life. And they were tested with quite nice questions. So yeah, I think this is the biggest effort. And then we encourage team first, not personal growth. So we always make the team first compared to your personal growth, or personal goals. Sorry. Okay, and now back to your question, is that when I joined the company, it was 2018 then, and we had 15 teams with classical structure, that every team had a team lead, and we had a team of architects, we had product managers and designers in the team, and all of them really owned the full service cycle, or service area. But it was not perfect, and the owner of this initiative is actually in the call. But Martti, if I make mistakes, please fix me. It's totally fine. But yeah, so it was a dependency hell that some teams even deliver the same functionality, because they were so independent, each team, that they kind of started to compete to each other. And when we scaled a lot, we basically scaled or doubled the size of engineering every year. Then it came out that we didn't find good team leads, and we didn't find the people who wanted to be officially a team lead, or if we found them, then they were not perfect team leads. In the same time, we didn't want to hire a lot of leaders or managers, because it went really like off from percentage wise as well, that we have more managers than specialists. Or like not really, but yeah, we thought that this is out of hand, and actually there is no need for managers. If people actually have this strong internal drive, there is no need for every team manager. So it's but these were like the main concerns: scalability, the silos, and then also that there were those like changers or architects who in one room they decided that how we need to progress on our technical stack, for example, and that didn't play out really well either, because they were disconnected with the real teams, and then it was difficult to buy in those team leads. So Marty went to vacation and then came back, and then decided that something needs to be innovating, something needs to be changed. And then they had a review of a couple of YouTube videos about Spotify and AirBnb model, and about some other articles. And then they did an offsite. They had really like a collaborative way how to define the Agile framework in the beginning. They defined all the big blocks, that how it should work, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and that's how it happened. So when I joined March 2018, then this process was just starting. In June, we implemented the first tribes. So it went really fast, this change. And the main motto here is that try it out, don't think too much. You can always change the process. You just need to agree on the big areas and big agreements, or like what really matters. And then you can try out in different tribes or teams. You can try out different ways of working, and then you can consolidate later the best practices. And that's what we did. We just went off, and everybody wanted to go and start doing it. So that's
what were the prerequisites actually to enable this? Like, just try it out and do not think too much. What has to be abolished, or what had to be put in place that this worked?
I believe that it is this our main values. We were still then like around 400 people, and we were like really having this startup mindset. A lot of people just wanted to deliver. We wanted to see Pipedrive succeed, and we really believed on it, that this can scale, that this enables our people to do some great things, and something new, and not corporate stuff. So we actually had a group of people who didn't want to have status quo. They really wanted to innovate around the processes as well. And I believe that Martti, as a great leader, and then also these other people in the picture, who joined these forces and who really went forward. I'm not lying here that we didn't have any kind of like levers because of this. Yes, we did, but that it was only a couple of them, and most of them were those ex-team leads. We took the management position away and put them kind of like developers, back to developers. But I will explain it later a little bit more, but in the end it worked out quite well for them as well.
So you didn't have a bunch of consultants that were helping you.
No.
So you're saying basically that because the drive and the envy to change and to really make it work and be successful and scale it was so strong that you managed this change basically on your own with some fantastic leaders inside.
Exactly. So we were just, going with the flow, thinking that what can go wrong if you just need to try, and you can always fix. So we need to think also that this is, we are talking about here software development, right? And in software development, there has been agile mindset for 10 plus years already. So all this retrospective, all those process tweaks, this is kind of coming natural for us. Or that if you do something awful in your code, for example, you delete the full database, then actually you don't get fired, but you need to learn your lesson. But it's fine to fail or make a mistake, and this culture is there since beginning of the company. So people felt that if something goes wrong, we always can go back to the old ways, right? And we didn't have any external consultancy people. I know that a couple of those people in the picture went and actually had a talk with Spotify for real. Like they went and did some road trip, and they actually went beyond the blog posts and had a real conversation with real people, and got maybe a little bit more insights how it actually have been implemented. But in general, we just openly talked and trusted that whatever happens, it just happens, and that's it.
And I think it's a key, though, that you're saying that one of the bases is this, or was this, agile mindset. So you're used to, I don't know who, like if everybody being with us tonight has or knows what the agile mindset is about. So maybe you can say 3-4 sentences about that. So what it is, you were already starting to explain, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for me, I think agile means different things for different people as well. But for me, it means that you are always open for change. So you have a plan what to deliver or what to do, but life happens and life changes so fast around us, so that we need to always adjust our plans. And this is the agile thinking. Another principle is about the feedback in agile in general, that we have been, and most of the engineers have only done agile development, right? They are so young that they don't even know what is waterfall or UML. So it's so natural for people to actually do the retrospectives and reflect what went right and what went wrong, and what to improve. That and they are used to do it every second week or something like that. So they know that if something goes wrong, then we will fix it. And obviously there were challenges as well. We have a healthy team. We don't just go ahead and don't think about risks. Obviously we did some risk analysis and risk adjustments as well, but we always found that the worst case scenario we will fall back, and we always have this, and it's not so risky to do that as well. Yeah.
Thank you. So we're curious to discover on how or what has happened then.
Yeah. So this is a nice visualization what actually happened. I'm sorry, the next slides are not so nicely polished. I didn't send them to these graphical designers, but basically they are what we had was engineering teams, and then we put together those 2 to 4 teams into one tribe. So tribe is basically again a team, but it is a bigger one, and then we have sub teams under it and dynamical sub teams under it. And in general, we from this picture we had previously 4 managers, and all these teams had manager or team lead, and in tribe we had just one engineering manager then. So basically we released the managerial decisions and managerial responsibilities from 4 people to 1. And actually this one was not engineer before, but they were the team lead manager. So we kind of like just disabled the team leads and made them engineers back again. Welcome, Jakub. What happened was that we had different size of tribes, and obviously then we had a lot of all this change management happening as well. There are obviously people who still had some old projects to be cleared out. They still had people who questioned it. So all the engineering managers started to really be a change leads and really constantly listen and constantly trying to solve their questions and question marks around it, because obviously in the beginning it was confusing for everybody that why I need to now belong to the team but consists of 30 people. It doesn't feel like a team or family anymore. It's kind of like tribe and that's why the name as well. But yeah, in general, people always have peers next to them, and we have managed to also do a peer groups, for example, that group of engineers come together and they are like a peer, like coaching group. They coach each other, and everything they talk there is confidential, and then they feel the family feeling there, and they can trust really each other there. As you start doing and getting to know different people, it's getting less frustrating as well. Okay, but a little bit about those dynamical structures as well, and please ask questions if it is all mumbo jumbo for you and not clear. So in every tribe we have launchpad and missions, and I will start from missions because missions are something what is kind of like project. That it has like really clear goal. We measure this goal or these objectives. Every mission has a mission lead, and they normally have 2 weeks to 3 months length. And they also include product manager and mission lead. And one mission is then solving something customer problem. For example, that how you could call from leads directly. And this is a mission example. So what happens when somebody is thinking that the mission needs to happen is that one of the engineers is volunteering to be a mission lead. So it doesn't need to be even senior, it can be junior engineer, but somebody who actually wants to deliver it, who believes that this needs to get done and who wants to also lead. And this person is then taking product manager and designer. They are doing all this preparation work. They think how it should be in general delivered. They think solution. They validate the problem, obviously, as well. Again, they think about the size of the team and the length of the team that needs to happen. And then they have pitching. So it is a global event in Pipedrive that we go to the stage, or nowadays via Zoom, obviously. We sit behind the computer nowadays, but previously we had a nice stage. Mission lead was pitching an idea and welcoming like that different developers to their team. And then those applicants put together as a mission. So they kind of isolate themselves from the tribe itself. They are kind of, we call it even that in Rocket in Cosmos, and they deliver what they promised to deliver. And obviously they need to do re-estimation in the kickoff. They need to do a lot of planning. They need to do a risk assessment together. They need to set the responsibilities among team, and they form the team. So we form teams for every 1 to 3 months, basically. And this is something what is not general in teams structure either. This is also really pretty unique in Pipedrive, that you constantly learn to work together with people you didn't work before. And even though it was in the beginning, it was a little bit frightening, it has proven to work really well, because even senior engineers or they get out from the comfort zone, they learn something new. We have juniors who come to the company and really teach the seniors something new, something, maybe some soft topics, but maybe something also from technical point of view. So it keeps you constantly learning, not letting yourself into comfort zone and so on. Yeah.
There is a question from Christian Silman that might fit the topic. So if you want to ask it yourself, Christian.
Yeah, why not? So my question is, what does the mission team deliver? Is it the outcomes that they promised or the solution that they promised?
Actually, the problem that they promised to solve. So it depends, obviously. Sometimes we deliver the solution, and sometimes we cancel the missions in the middle, because we discover that the solution what was defined in the preparation phase doesn't actually solve customers' problems. But we test the solution as soon as possible. If it is a product mission or we deliver some feature for the customers, we start to have customer calls already before with the prototype, but we also release it to customers as soon as possible under feature flag with some friendly customers or customers who have been requesting this. And we have interviews, then we figure it out or change or tweak it a little bit. So actually product manager and designer are really active during the mission to tweak the solution. If the solution is actually something totally different and the mission team understands that they need to extend or double the size of the mission, then we cancel the mission. But no, we quite often extend the missions as well to deliver the value of what we promised. So the promise is actually fixing some problem for customer, and how we measure it is customer behavior. So after mission has been done, we are actually measuring that our actually users find this feature, how often they use it, will they return, how often do they return to that feature, and so on. So obviously anonymously, but or generalized data. But yeah, we do have quite instrumented solution.
Thank you. So let's go on for the.
Yeah, I can endlessly talk about it. Yeah, and this is it is messy, like the picture, that we constantly form missions, we constantly land mission. Then people who have been mission lead get tired about this leadership or managerial stuff still, like, you know, organizing events, retros, stand-ups, all of this, having meetings with security. They get tired of it. So after they have landed the mission, they are just the regular engineers in the next mission, maybe. Some engineers really love to be mission leads, so they are constantly mission leads, but it is their own choice what to do. Are they mission leads or are they regular engineers? So
you capture this information somewhere?
Yeah. We have a self-made tool for missions. What we have, it's based actually from Confluence, but the tool itself is something unique or like done for us, because we also have this applying to missions. So we didn't find a tool where you can actually say, let it go, you know, hey, we have a project, who wants to come? And there is no, like, we didn't at least find 3 years ago the tool what would support us. So it's basic tool, but yeah. And then we have it in the database, and then we have a lot of reporting around it as well, that who have been lead for how long, who have been in missions, who have been in Launchpad. Not that we are like really having any KPIs over it, but it's just the general information, good to know.
Luc Breton, he's having a question about the missions. Maybe Luc, you can just ask it yourself.
Yeah, I had some noise around me. So what is the percentage of the person agenda that can be focused on the mission? Can it be a full-time or is it a part-time? What do you generally observe?
So if one engineer is in the mission, so if we talk about this phase or this moment of time that somebody joins the mission, then they go to mission full-time. They are full-time in mission for 3 months, for example, as an example. However, how long the mission is. Normally people don't go to even for vacations during that, or actually that was one of the kind of like outcomes of this workshop in the beginning when they brainstorm about it, but in real life people still go to vacations as well in mission. But generally people are in mission full time, they do overwork, they burn a little bit out because they really want to deliver, they really want to fix this problem, they believe in it, and they know that it is on them to fix it. And us as then helping managers, our responsibility is to keep them safe and about from themselves actually. And if your question was more about that from the year perspective or from in general, then we have a guideline or guideline that if there is several people who would like to go to mission and there is actually a need only for one, then the person who has not been in mission before or has been less in mission than the other, then this person is chosen, so that to avoid people to constantly stay in Launchpad. In general, it depends on the people and people preference. Again, some people really like to be in Launchpad and some people really want to be in mission. And again, it is people's own responsibility and also this team first, that there are always some sexy challenges to tackle, especially for engineers who are really into technical challenges. And some missions have new technology what everybody wants to learn for their career, but nobody or everybody cannot go. We cannot let everybody to go to missions because somebody needs to do the housekeeping as well. And then then we choose those people who have been less on missions.
So tell me, what is housekeeping at Pipedrive?
Yeah, I will. That's the next one.
There is an interesting question from Jean-François Vermont. You can maybe ask it yourself if you can unmute your mic.
Yes, hello everybody.
Hi.
From Tunisia. Here it's hot weather. So
Estonia, by the way, as well today. But yeah, only today. Yes, go ahead.
Very sunny day today in Hammamet. So my question is the following: are there bonuses or wage advantages for those who assume the responsibility of mission leaders?
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for that question. Thank you. So we have a quite nice career guidelines and career path, and in the beginning it was more general that we expect that senior engineers have been leading Launchpad and missions, and now it is more rigid. We have 14 different competencies, including leadership. And there you, for achieving advanced level, for example, on leadership, you should have a proven record that you have been leading some mission or Launchpad. In general, I can say that there is no problem on finding mission leads and this internal drive. We don't need to compensate or have bonuses linked to it, but obviously career path and career growth is important. And we more softly encourage people to take the leadership role, even for those who may be a little bit more stalled back, because we really want to see that they have this experience at least once. But this is more, we don't have like hard rule, or they don't get any bonuses after mission has landed or met the objectives, for example, because we think that even if one mission is delivering something awesome for our customers, then there are those housekeepers who have been putting themselves, maybe their own growth aside, handling all the like a little bit more boring tasks to enable their own team members to grow and to deliver this new awesome thing. So team first again, and we don't have at all these individual compensations, yeah, except maybe yearly bonuses every now and then, but even this is not like linked to the mission leading or anything like that.
Thank you, it's very clear.
Cool. Then the housekeeping or launchpad, we call it. So we launchpad term is coming from the cosmos area, that you have to have this launchpad on the Earth to let the others to be on the rocket, right, and enjoy the view from the rocket, but somebody needs to be on the Earth and really manage it, and that's our launchpad is about. So obviously we have really fast pace of development, and we have mainly or constant deployment. So we do have bugs. So that's I guess accepted for us. I'm sorry for all the users, by the way. But that's kind of accepted to deliver faster the new features and scale faster. So it is a compromise always. And a launchpad is basically fixing bugs if there is any. They are helping support engineers or support or third-party support, third level support to answer more technical questions. And they also do some refactoring sometimes, or like all this technical housekeeping. And then we also do some copy changes and stuff like that. So really small changes in Launchpad. The target is that in Launchpad we have 30% of engineers. So you can consider that 70% of people are delivering something new or having this focus time, and then for 30% of people it is then fixing bugs every day, something new. They don't have like really clear objectives, just quality objectives. And they also do on-call, so that's really reacting 24/7 if there is something awful happening, and or avoiding these awful happenings. And so this is kind of like hectic life is in Launchpad. Some people enjoy it more, some people less, but everybody accepts that this needs to get done so that the rockets can go to the moon, right? And yeah, so again, there is also rotating role, Launchpad lead role, but is now more, I guess, in some tribes, like they are taking like really a tribe lead role. They are doing the planning of the missions or helping to do the missions planning. They are helping to make sure that the vacations don't end up on the same time. They are making sure that the team is healthy still. So I had a couple of months ago, I had 3 tribes under one engineering manager, or under me. It sounds weird, but they like next to me. Then I was supporting 3 tribes, and then obviously I was not able to go to each tribe inside. And then those Launchpad leads, they took most of my tasks, or all these one-on-ones, all this supporting role, they took it away from me, and I am still so thankful for them. But yeah, now they also have managers, because this role rotates, and considering that the rest of the company, except the product engineering, is not teal or holistic or circle management, let's say, then we need still to have these counterparties for our rest of the company. So we need to have somebody who has connections with managers or your business partners or such things. So we have that's also engineering manager's job. But Launchpad lead is also making sure that this Launchpad is happening, and this Launchpad lead role then changes as well as the members in Launchpad, right? So missions start, mission lands, people go to vacation, come back, they like every week you have a new team. And when we were still in our physical offices, we tried to keep our people in the same room. So Launchpad was in one room and missions like really physically moved. They took their chair, their monitor, their stuff, their cuddlies, and then they left to the other room, to higher floor or lower floor. It doesn't matter. They went away from this Launchpad room. And then they, after 3 months, they came back to their own old room. And it was actually like a new one because there were new people around. And we constantly hire. So that means that you constantly have new people around, and you need to get comfortable with that. And considering our retention, employee retention, it seems that it works quite well.
And that people and these missions, they always start on Tuesdays. It's the pitching Tuesdays that like every week this is happening. So
yeah,
there is like the worst case, somebody is always is waiting until next Tuesday to get onboarded. Or
obviously the life is not ideal, right? And there are situations where no missions are starting and Launchpad is overwhelmed, like almost 100% of people are in Launchpad all of a sudden. And because we haven't been preparing the missions because the product manager and designers were busy with the old one, for example, or something like that. So there is always, in Tuesdays, we have a pitching Tuesday. And the mission normally starts then on either on the next Monday, or actually we promote really to pitch the mission a couple of weeks or even a month or 2 months beforehand, so that the engineers who want to join, they can hand over their tasks, what they're doing right now. They can close this topic they are doing right now and then join, so that they can plan ahead. But in the same time, we are trying to be agile, so we can't have too huge lead time either. So we are balancing between them. So sometimes it happens that some engineers are waiting for months in Launchpad to get onboarded to the mission. And it might be that they don't have, they don't feel that they want to join any mission. Maybe there is no missions in that tribe. They could join other tribe, but they kind of don't feel like it. And at the same time, there is minimum size of this Launchpad as well. We need to cover this on call. And you might be stuck there, kind of, that everybody are on missions and they prolong the mission, and then you are there in the Launchpad. But in general, it constantly flows, kind of like, you know, land starts. And yeah, in some Tuesdays we have 7 pitches, and some Tuesdays we have none, but 7 is maximum. In Pitching Tuesday, we also have another session, or like other form. It is demo. What means that when the mission lands, then the mission leads comes back to this Pitching Tuesday and promotes what did they deliver. So kind of like this. This is coming from Scrum as well. There is also demo meetings, but we have those public demo now after bigger projects, basically. Yes. But yeah, this is really important that the Launchpad lead role also rotates. And in Launchpad lead role, we quite often need to also use elections because even though it is voluntarily based, and if somebody volunteers, it's awesome, but it's quite a different responsibility for Launchpad lead, especially. And sometimes you need to put the team first and really take the lead role and start doing it, and then people start to enjoy it as well. But it's a little bit tempting, this Launchpad lead role sometimes. Or yeah. So, and tribes are different. Some are size of 8 engineers, and some are 30. And as I mentioned, or I had a tribe for a year and a half, for 40 engineers. So we had constant flying. And then we formed 3 launch pads as well for this huge tribe. And that's why why I named this talk also as a living organism, that we constantly change the tribes as well. We form new tribes, we change them, we combine them, we split them, and we find the best balance to have meaningful responsibility for every engineer. Because if it is too huge, then it is too overwhelming to one person to own the full service area, and it's difficult to manage otherwise. Or like, yeah, anyway. But yeah, tribes are really different, and situation constantly changes. And we do monitor it as well on our missions tool. And then there are always cross-tribe missions, what means that other tribes maybe help you, or sometimes some service needs knowledge from other tribes. And some tribes don't have product managers, they are purely engineering tribes. But yeah, they are then purely technical or really low-level people there, or engineers there. Yeah, this is the missions, and then there are guilds also. So guilds are kind of popular, I think, in general already in the world. So it unifies people with the same kind of interests, right? And joins forces, cross sites, cross tribes, and all of this. Lately, especially thanks to COVID, I would say, we have really spinned off all these guilds, and we don't have only technical guilds, we also have process-related guilds. For example, the same Agile framework, what I'm talking about, is owned by the guild. And what that means is that anybody from the organization can basically come into the guild and propose the change. It is kind of like governance meeting for this Agile framework, that if you have attention, you come and you propose some solution, and then we have several discussions around it, that what risks it brings, and can we go forward, and if we can, then it happens. But we also have really like technical guilds that really focuses then joining people across different tribes around the same technology, for example, Golang. Yes, and quality assurance and security guilds, and all of this different career guild as well. Yeah, they're newest, I guess, right now. Yes, so this one I kind of covered, but how we then organizational growth is quite straightforward in that framework. And I think that was one of the goal when the guys went to brainstorming, that we knew that Pipedrive needs to scale, and we know it right now as well. And we believe that if we have a lot of managers, then there are like a lot of agendas for each manager, right? We all have our egos, and it is difficult to put aside even in such culture we have. And it is difficult to manage any change if you have a lot of managers and siloed agendas. So in that framework, you really can, and people are so used to work with different people that they put Pipedrive agenda first, and they understand that actually there is always something to learn for themselves as well, so that they can actually keep their egos as well. They can learn something new. They can do meaningful job, and obviously sometimes we need to just hang there, especially nowadays. And then you have places where you can be a little bit pulled back and maybe relax a little bit more, and get your energy level back. Yeah, so tribes grow from the missions. So most of the missions are delivering some new services, right? You need to maintain them, you need to own them, you need to upgrade them later. So responsibility grows. That means that you either need to grow or hire more people into that tribe, or you need to reform a new tribe. The most common way is that the tribe will grow into, you know, size of 30 to 40, and then you just cut this tribe into half. And how we did it, well, I have had a story that we actually reunited two tribes of 20 people, and then I had the honor to do it, and I'm really happy about it. So it was so that we invited the engineers together who wanted to join or who could join, actually define the plan how we divide the work for this huge tribe. And when that was done, then we went to the woods or into the offsite. And then I said that no beer and no lunch before you have divided yourself. So everybody needs to, you know, go where their heart belongs to, which service area. So we had 3 different posters on the tables that describe that what services this area were like will own. And then I said that no beers, no drinks, no food before you have split out. And it took, I think, 10 to 15 minutes so that actually people negotiated between the services about the people. They made sure that they have enough people in each area. They made sure that others are fine as well as they are fine. They're like sub team, and really they self-organized. That was amazing to see and follow. To be honest, I didn't do much there. It was just, you know, that's how great those people are there. And the final version, how we grow, is these incubations, that something like really new will emerge. And then really small group of people will start working with that. They are testing it on the market, they are doing it, and then they start growing, and they will form a new tribe for that area. And their spots then will be hired back to their original tribes, so that they feel safe that their original tribe is okay-ish. And then obviously they are missed right into those incubation. Our best minds will always go, and then then they can grow a new area, for example. So yes, and personal growth, then I have been telling these stories that we have a lot of feedback culture, or like a strong feedback culture, because one of the things is our be teachable. One of the main pillars of our culture is be teachable. So we constantly want to learn and be better selves. And I can admit that 3 years ago when I joined Pipedrive, I was pretty closed. Actually, I was teachable on the professional side, but probably not from my personal side. And I mean, like if somebody said that don't yell, I was like, what? And then but Pipedrive have taught me to actually take this feedback and thank for that feedback and give it back. So it I don't know why it is there, but it is really there, that we are open for feedback until the CEO level, so we can really be open about our concerns or maybe mistakes what they do, and they really listen and try to be better. Obviously everything can be improved again, but this is obvious as well.
I have a question from Jean-François, if you permit, that goes along that road. Jean-François Vermont was asking, as an international company, do you observe that the national cultures influence the readiness to candidate for mission leading? But in that field as well, if we talk about feedback culture, do you see a difference from culture impacting the readiness for feedback, accepting and giving feedback?
yes and no. There is obviously differences on cultural background as well, and you need to acknowledge, otherwise you are lying to yourself, I guess. That we are who we are, and it depends from where we are coming from. I think our personality plays a strong position here as well. So it's important that to acknowledge who the people are actually, and take them as they are, and let them be. But it doesn't mean that you can. That some people really like steal the mission lead roles, kind of like they grab it or grab the mission developers positions, for example, or really go to cross-tribe missions and do every third month they do like 360 degrees change what they are actually delivering, and then you need to pull them back a little bit, and that, hey, you need to maybe you slow a little bit down before you go further. And there are other people as well, and like engineers in general are introverts, right? They don't like to be on the public stage, and they don't want to talk, and they really don't want to. And for those people, we will then find a way how they don't need to do the public speaking. Obviously, you cannot put everybody to the same box and ask everybody to do exactly the same thing. You need to acknowledge who they are and what fits them the most. And there is cultural difference, but I would say that I think the bigger one is personal difference.
Personality difference.
Yeah.
So we have another 3 minutes left that we can dedicate on personal growth, or like as well, I would like just to if you don't mind, get us aware about the timing that we have. Like the hour is running so fast, and if there is you're free to continue on the personal growth side, and there are some people that have to leave us already, but if there is like, what is the thing that you want to get us across?
Yeah, that was, I was afraid of that. It's such a, like, I'm so passionate about it, I can endlessly talk about it anyway. Yeah, so personal growth, I have kind of like covered that this is really important to try out different roles, and then relax on, or like a little bit relax, or really code what they actually like to do. They like to code, and then most of them, I would say, that they can do what they like to do, and then try leadership. So diversity, I would say, as well. And competency matrix, I already discovered. I think that is really important here as well, that each tribe contributes to company goal, right? So everybody knows where they are contributing in. And obviously we have company vision, company goals, and everybody are aware of them, everybody has access into them, and actually we follow them quite well in Pipedrive as well, that how are we actually doing on those goals and KPIs. And every engineer in general contributes to those goals. We don't have personal KPIs right now because they would be pretty general. We have tribe level KPIs, and everybody are contributing to them to tribe tribe goals. Yeah, and we in the beginning or with Suzanne, we before we discussed that how about our organizational chart. And our organizational chart is like really classical. We have CTO, we have VP of engineering, we have VP of product, we have designers, researchers. All of them are reporting to different managers on our organizational chart. Even back then, when we didn't have engineering managers to all of the tribes, then even then we still had in organizational chart, we always had somebody who is managing you on the system or on our HR systems.
That means you don't have a circle organization. You have the tribes and this whole flexibility and agility while being in a traditional organization chart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have managed actually to keep the organizational structure, keep the HR keep maybe some other structures in the company as they are, and really like start doing it from our end, and from middle to the like engineering. Even though engineering is the biggest organizational unit, then and we form here on each tribe also, or we include also product managers and designers who actually belong to other C-level person. And but we manage it because those VPs are partners in crime. They work, they need to work well together. They have similar goals, and we share the goals. Mm-hmm. So we are like kind of like forcing ourselves to really contribute on every level. On tribe level, I would say that we have always had this, when the tribe has the goal or vision, then the tribe is like one family, and really like contributes to the same goal. Even the professions are different and reporting structure is different.
So thank you so much for this wonderful presentation, telling us so much and so passionately about how you are organized. And what astonishes me and amazes me is how you managed to do it in a hybrid traditional organization with this maximum flexibility. And if there is a burning question, some people have asked some questions again in the chat, and I'd like to offer one slot to get the last question before we end this session. There are some people that have to leave us, so thank you very much that you have joined us. Yeah, is there a burning last question or comment? It was as well an honor that we had one of the managers of Pipedrive with us tonight. Thanks a lot. Is there one last question somebody really would like to ask?
Maybe one last comment is that the most of the praise of this framework goes to Martti. So yeah, keep the name in your list. Yes.
What is the next challenge for Pipedrive in terms of managerial innovation? Can you display? Yeah. Can you disclose something about it?
I believe that our biggest challenge right now is to find the balance between this flexibility and in the same time growing to 1,000 people. So we have a pressure to maybe have more traditional ways, and now we are owned also by a huge company who has a lot of companies in their portfolio, so they kind of know how classical management is done. And I guess this is one of the challenge to how to keep what we value so much, and how to balance it with new owners' requirements or their needs.
I would like to thank you here at this place, Kadri. It was so passionate, what you are talking about, and we are all wishing you luck to maintain this magic mixture, and how you combined the different frameworks. You were as well saying that it is actually a combination, and you could not just take a framework and apply it to Pipedrive, but you had inspiration from Frederic Laloux, from Sociocracy, Holacracy, and as well, of course, you said the Spotify model, that you just took what fit you best. Mm-hmm. And we are wishing you luck. I'd like to thank our partners, Fabric and Hola Spirit, that are like making it possible that you can all join free of charge for these thriving sessions. So a big thanks to our partners here at this place. And please check out our website on thenextgenenterprise.com for our next session on the 18th of May. And I was pleased as well to be here tonight with Luc Breton, co-organizer for the Next Gen Enterprise Summit and Thriving Sessions, and the colleagues of the team as Alex, Daniel, and Maud that were helping us with it. I wish you all a wonderful evening.